Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is the place where we dive deep into the latest updates and news about Iraq's economy, its currency, and everything you need to know about the Iraqi dinar. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just curious about the country's financial developments, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any critical updates. Today we have some incredibly exciting and crucial intel to share, especially for those of you invested in the Iraqi dinar. We're going to break down some major updates, including an article from GR Maghazi, a report from the PDK, and some significant news related to Iraq's relationship with the United Nations. But that's not all. There's also a game-changing update about the Iraqi currency that could have major implications. So make sure to stick around until the end because there's a lot to unpack here. 1. Iraq's relationship with the United Nations and financial payouts. First up, let's talk about the latest developments surrounding Iraq's relationship with the United Nations. As many of you know, the UN has had a presence in Iraq for years, helping with reconstruction, humanitarian efforts, and supporting economic stability. Recently, key players have been discussing the mechanisms for implementing Security Council Resolution 2732. But what does this mean for us as investors? In simpler terms, this resolution marks the end of the UN's involvement in Iraq. And as we've been hearing for a while, once the UN's role is officially over, a significant financial payout is expected. The UN has made it clear that they were supposed to be compensated well for their efforts, and with the gradual withdrawal of their presence, it looks like those payments may be coming soon. But here's the important part. For these payments to happen, there's a crucial step that needs to take place first: changes in the value of the Iraqi dinar. We'll dive into that in more detail shortly, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. 2. Massive digital transformation in Iraq's banking sector. Moving on, there's been a lot of buzz recently about a monumental shift happening in Iraq's banking sector. The governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, Ali Alak, made a major announcement that's sending shockwaves through the financial world. This Saturday marks the beginning of a nationwide digital transformation in Iraq's financial sector. Can you believe it? Iraq is going digital. This move could completely revolutionize the way the banking system works there, bringing it into the modern age. It's an exciting time for anyone involved with the Iraqi dinar, or even those looking to understand the country's future economic trajectory. So what does this mean for us? This digital shift has the potential to create a more modern, efficient, and transparent financial system in Iraq. The transition to digital banking is just one of many signals that Iraq is heading in a positive direction economically. But here's the big question. Could this be the beginning of the end for the program rate? As the country modernizes, this could be the perfect opportunity for a major shift in Iraq's currency valuation. However, this is just the beginning. While these advancements are encouraging, we'll need to keep watching how things unfold. 3. Potential changes in Iraq's exchange rate and monetary policy. As Iraq moves forward with banking reforms, reports indicate that Iraq's currency and exchange rate are some of the most critical areas under discussion. There's been a lot of talk about potential changes in Iraq's monetary policy. These aren't just rumors. There's substantial insider information suggesting that Iraq is heading in a new direction economically. Much of the preparation underway points away from the continued use of a program rate. The entire world is paying attention, and all signs indicate that significant changes are coming. Iraq's financial landscape is evolving, and we could soon see a shift that opens up new opportunities, both for investors and for the Iraqi people. 4. U.S. geopolitical changes and their impact on Iraq's economy. Now let's take a step back and look at some major geopolitical changes, particularly between the U.S. and Iraq. According to a statement from a U.S. State Department spokesperson, the Trump administration has officially ended the exemptions that allowed Iraq to buy electricity from Iran. This is a pretty big deal since Iraq has long depended on Iranian electricity to meet its energy needs. This move is part of a broader geopolitical shift, and we need to keep a close eye on how this will impact Iraq's economy. The reliance on Iranian energy has been a cornerstone of Iraq's infrastructure for years, and this new policy could lead to some economic challenges for Iraq. It could even influence Iraq's financial stability and future currency policies in unexpected ways. So, while the change may not be immediate, it's something to consider as we follow Iraq's economic developments. 5. Oil prices and their impact on Iraq's financial landscape. Speaking of Iraq's financial landscape, oil prices continue to play a huge role in shaping the country's economy. Recently, economist G. Sampson pointed out that lower oil prices could force Iraq to adjust its exchange rate and cut down on public spending. As we all know, Iraq's economy is heavily dependent on oil revenue, and fluctuations in oil prices have a direct impact on the country's financial policies. This is yet another indication of the economic challenges Iraq is facing. With oil prices potentially lower in the future, Iraq may need to make some tough decisions regarding its exchange rate, spending, and budget policies. These developments could have direct implications for the Iraqi dinar's value, and it's something we should all be monitoring closely. Fiscal. Discussions with the IMF and economic growth prospects. Let's turn our attention to some recent discussions between Iraqi officials and the International Monetary Fund, IMF. A delegation wrapped up key talks with the IMF in Amman, Jordan from February 24th to 26th. Among the key figures present were Iraq's finance minister and the governor of the central bank. These meetings focused on Iraq's economic performance and its long-term growth prospects. The IMF has been working closely with Iraq to help the country diversify its economy and reduce its reliance on oil revenue. The IMF is optimistic about Iraq's future, projecting that the non-oil GDP will grow by 5% in 2024, thanks to major strides in the agricultural sector and increased public spending. This is great news because it shows that Iraq is taking serious steps to move away from an oil-dependent economy. Looking further ahead, the IMF expects Iraq's growth to stabilize at 3.5% in 2025, which is pretty impressive, given the challenges the country is facing. But there are still hurdles to overcome. One of the major points of discussion was how Iraq can reduce its budget deficit, improve its tax system, and enhance fiscal management. The IMF is offering advice and expertise to help Iraq achieve these goals, making its financial system more investor-friendly. 7. The push for banking modernization and strengthening the dinar. One of the most interesting takeaways from the IMF talks is the emphasis on banking modernization. The IMF has been urging Iraq to collaborate with international correspondent banks to facilitate trade financing and improve the country's access to global markets. This is a crucial step for Iraq's economic integration into the global financial system. More importantly, Iraq is focused on increasing the use of the Iraqi dinar in major transactions, both domestically and internationally. This is a major move that could help strengthen the national currency and could eventually lead to a higher valuation of the dinar in the future. As Iraq continues to modernize its banking sector, this could play a pivotal role in stabilizing the economy and increasing investor confidence. 8. Looking ahead, a stronger, more stable Iraqi dinar? So what does all of this mean for us, the investors in the Iraqi dinar? There's a lot of positive momentum building. Iraq is taking all the right steps toward economic diversification, and the push for banking modernization is a clear sign that the country is heading in the right direction. While there are still significant challenges ahead, these developments suggest that Iraq is making real efforts to stabilize and grow its economy. If these trends continue, we could be looking at a much stronger and more stable Iraqi dinar in the near future. Of course, the road to stability is never smooth, and it's impossible to predict exactly when these changes will come to fruition. But if Iraq continues down this path, it could lead to a more robust economy and a much stronger currency. Final thoughts, and stay tuned for updates. To wrap things up, I want to emphasize that we're witnessing some truly historic moments in Iraq's financial landscape. From the IMF meetings to the push for digital transformation and the gradual end of UN involvement, all these developments are pointing toward a major shift. While we're not there yet, it's clear that Iraq is making significant strides toward real change. I'll be here keeping you updated with all the latest news, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you want to stay on top of the developments. The future of Iraq's economy and currency looks promising, and as always, keep a close eye on the Iraqi dinar. It could be heading for a major transformation. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.